Hello and good morning. We are going to have a long-haul test with the JarDesign A320. We're going to fly from Athens in Greece to Keflavik in Iceland, which is, according to what I've seen so far, kind of a maximum range flight inside Europe for the A320. According to all the tools that I have, in theory, we should be able to arrive in Keflavik. I hope we do. We shall see. And yeah, let me quickly guide you through the. Briefing. I use SimToolkitPro as usual, and SimBrief has created the briefing. We are. Let's quickly check, is WebFMC there? Yes, WebFMC works, that's good. So, we are currently in Athens. In Athens we have, well, where is the weather? Meta, okay, let's have a look here. So, we have Cavo K, 25 degrees, we have some clouds, wind is variable, so it's very light. QNH is 1010, no significant changes expected. Athens is on 308 feet. We have runway 21 left, according to this here. We're not going to have ATC. I'm going to do some ATC-Chatter, but I'm not going to have ATC. At least I don't plan to. Right. The length of the runway is 4 kilometers, density 1677, density altitude 1677. Transition is 9,000 feet, slope minus 0.244, and the eyesight deviation is 11 degrees. Okay, so that's that. So let's have a look at the load. We're going to try and adjust the load accordingly, and for that we need to get into here, and we have to start setting up the aircraft. I go here into menus, go packs and cargo, and I'm also going to call for the fuel track. Right, then the door is already open. Let's open the cargo doors. Let's quickly check the fuel calculation. It calculates a trip fuel of 13.6 tons. Yep. Okay. I think we are fine. Hopefully that'll do for our trip. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the airplane. So let's go to the init page, and we're flying from Lima Golf Alpha Victor to Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot. It already seen a company route. That's the one I created. So I'm loading this in. Okay, so that's our company route. We're doing insert. Align IRS. The flight number is ICE999. Doesn't really matter. We're not going to have ATC. It's just too much disturbance. I just want to test the aircraft and not have all this. As I say, I do put in some chatter, but that's about it. Cost index. It wants us to use the CI of 5. CI of 5, okay. Cost index 5. The cruise altitude. The cruise altitude is. I'm always looking here. The cruise altitude is flight level 340. And you can't click here, it will put in your zero fuel weight, which is 58 tons, and the block fuel, which is 18.5. And by its own calculations, we have an extra time of 42 minutes. Okay, that's yeah, final time 30 minutes. We have no alternate time. I haven't calculated an alternate. We're going to fly to the airport. We have real weather, and that is not the best weather we can have. Flight plan. Let's quickly go for the departure. We are going to take off from a runway, quickly see, 21 left. And we're not going to use an SID according to that plan. So we're flying direct from 21 left to the first waypoint. No, so no transition. Insert. And that means Remax is our first. I'm going to clear the discontinuity and I'm going to insert the temporary. Which means we have now Athens, 21 left, Remax, Xanis, and so on and so on. So let's see. Oh yeah, we haven't yet aligned. So let's get these ones aligned here. I'm not sure how quick that goes. 7 minutes. Can we speed this up? Let's see. Settings. Yeah, okay. Display reflections off. Turbulence, yeah, we can leave that on. So engine type is Pratt & Whitney. Now we want CFM. Wingtip type Neo. We don't want to pause. Joy precision on. Shake camera off. Yeah, that's fine. So, packs and cargo, I think we're done. And we have the GPU. We still have the chocks on, but no, we don't have it on actually, but that's okay. The parking brake is set. Yeah. So let's get rid of the fuel truck, because we're done here as well. And I have started but not finished yet, just didn't have enough time. There is a nice C-list checklist checklist from Winkhuizen for the Flight Factor A320. I took this and I have started but not yet finished. I'm only on page 3. I've started to actually change all the automizations, take out a few things that don't work here in the jar. So in the end, I will have a checklist which works for the jar design. So fuel truck, yeah, we've done all that already. Gate is there. Yeah. Weather radar, yeah, the weather radar is usually on, so we take that off. Battery 1 and 2. Yeah, we're not going to do that test, and we're not going to do the RPU fire test. So I'm not going through the checklist as such, because in this airplane it doesn't really make sense. It's not that things are happening. Yeah, it's fake. Most of it is fake. So we've done the fuel pre-selection. Oh, that's fine. So the on the door page, we also have the crew oxygen, which is fine. On the hydraulic page, we can check that our reservoirs are sufficient. We have low pressure, but I think this down here is the reservoir. They're fine. And on the engine page, we check the oil quantity, which is 15 and 15.1 and 15.3, so that's sufficient as well. And a walk around would normally take place. Then, before we, so it's the overhead, so the strobe light. And I just realized that my hang on, let's take away this here. I just realized that my hardware isn't up and running yet. Sure, forgot. Let's also make the actual maximum ERS is 440. The transition altitude is 9,000. We are flying with an A320 and it's ICE 909er. Okay, so it's 2,268 nautical miles that we are going to fly, and it's going to be a 6-hour flight minimum, probably something like 6.5 to 7 hours. Right. Why does it want the strobe? Ah, yeah, strobe light in automatic. Okay, done that. Enough light. We can turn on as well. Seatbelt signs. We put on, and we put that on as well, and we put that into the arm position. The temperatures we're going to set up. So battery charge check. Yeah, that's the battery charge. We're not going to do that. We're going to turn on all the so engine fire test. Yeah, as I say, these are not very meaningful in this aircraft. Audio switching is normal. Audio management. Yeah. Next. So from here on, it's not automized anymore. Standby horizon actually. So let's check that our pressure is correct. I have active sky for the weather, so let's check the condition right now. So it's 10:22. We have slight showers. 8 degrees. It's actually rather cold in Athens. Is this Athens? Where are we actually? I'm a bit confused. Should it not show us where we are? Okay, let's make sure that we're looking at the correct weather. Yeah, it is. Ah, yeah, Eleftherios Venizelos. I overlooked that. Up here it says. So yeah, 8 degrees. That's actually quite cold for a summer. That's amazing. I'm a bit surprised about that. Okay, so 10:22. Okay, so let's it's not working again. Hardware is not doing its job. I don't know why. Here we go. Alright, so let's quickly go through the flight plan. You can actually pull this out now. So, flight plan. Let's quickly run through the flight plan and see if there are any surprising things in here, including discontinuities. Well, there is one near Keflavik. We don't know yet what our approach will be. I think I'm going to leave this in for the moment. Okay, and but it looks like we're fine. Let's go to the performance. Transition altitude is 9,000. The flaps settings. Oh, I did not check. Let me quickly get the Bucks cargo again. So 0.6 up with probably flaps 1. So 1/0.6 up. The flex temperature F45. I have stopped worrying about what you have to enter here, so I just put in F45 degrees, and and I just take what it shows us here. This is quite a large V2, but we are heavy. We are close to our maximum takeoff weight. So I might actually, if I don't forget, I might actually take the packs off for takeoff. Right. Let's quickly run through the checklist. Just standby horizon. Okay, gear lever is down. Brake pressure is working. We do have brake pressure, yeah. Left and right brakes pressure. Accu pressure in green range. Actually, it's not. So we're going to give it a quick boost with the electric pump. Naja, that didn't do that much. Doesn't matter. I'm not too chronometer, time, date, actual. Yeah. Yep, it's 7:13 Zulu, which is 9:13 here. I actually wanted to start 3 hours ago, but as you can imagine, I had to overcome so many problems also with the aircraft, my hardware, my programming, everything. Nothing worked the way I wanted it. So it took me quite some time, but I succeeded in the end. Landing gear annunciator is 3 green. Yeah, brake fans. The brake fans are on. And anti-skid brake fans, we don't need them on, no. Hot, no, they're not hot. So the radio, so the first frequency is, so what we can do is we can try to remember, I think it was 1 to 2, was it 1 to 2 or 1 to 0.2? What is active skies? I always forget what the frequencies are. Always forget the frequency. Simulator depiction, where is it? Common data, simulator installation. Audio options. Voice ATC 1 to 2. It was 1 to 2. And 1 to 2.2 should be 1 or no. It doesn't have an audio device. Sure, yep. And it can't find one.
Lima, Golf, Alpha,
here.
Victor, airport information, uniform 0620 Zulu, weather, wind 005 at 16, visibility 10,000, sky condition, few clouds at 1,800, ceiling 2,500, broken, ceiling 7,000, broken, light, rain, temperature 8, dew point 4, QNH 1022, advise on initial contact, you have information, uniform.
Okay, so
Lima,
let's
Golf, Alpha, Victor,
yeah,
airport
let's go to the
uniform
clearance frequency.
062 Zulu,
This is
weather,
11867.
005 at 16, visibility 10,000, sky condition, few clouds at 1,800, ceiling 2,000.
Clearance Endeavour 3366.
Endeavour 3356, Plaza.
Yes, sir, we're not picking up a PDC. We need to get a clearance, please.
Okay, so
Airport via the Bang 2 departure.
so that's the performance. So I think we're through. I'm not going to change anything here. I leave that all in standard, and
Endeavour 3366 cleared via the Bang
that
departure.
that should do it for us. Flight level 340, optimum is 360. We might actually be going up later.
Thanks to departure Endeavour 3366.
Yeah, depends. I'm going to check the weather en route as well, just in case. So that basically does it, and we're now ready to go through the startup and also get pushed. So very quickly, let's quickly check the. So we are here at the taxiway. Okay, so here we are. We want to get to 21 left, which is
Clearance delivery AC5326. We're negative A cars. We have a clearance on file and we're ready
which
to copy.
is here.
AC5326.
So we need to get from here to here, and I can see us pushing with the nose to the right, and then coming out of this here, and then use probably this taxiway onto Delta, and then we're going to drive up Delta.
Watch frequency, well, excuse me, squawk 7226 AC 5326. AC5326, readback is correct, and where are you parking at today?
Yeah, we're going to then use Delta and go all the way here to this.
Thank you very much. Have a good flight.
To this entry point,
Thank you. Good day.
and that gives us all the length of runway 21 left. Yep, that's the plan. Let's see if Airport Navigator works here. Somehow either Airport Navigator has stopped working. That could be one explanation. Or both airports, Athens and Keflavik, do not have a taxi system. But I can see that they have, at least Athens does. So it looks like Airport Navigator has stopped working. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. I don't know why it's not working anymore. Yeah, I tell you, it's always something. You know, you should know by now when you watch my videos. It never goes smooth. Never, ever, ever. I had not one flight where I just started everything and off I went. Immediately, 10 minutes later, kind of forget it. Never happens. Okay, so let's browse through the checklist. I'm not going to go through all of that. Switching buttons, set, upper blower, status, landing elevation. So thrust lever is idle. Yep. Engine masters 1 and 2 are off. Parking brake is active. Yeah, the rudder trim is 0.
839 is cleared to the jetport via the departure south 2.
So
and radar vectors to join
the radio is on.
Seminole. Climbing to 4000, expect
Transponder
10,000 in 10 minutes. Departure on 119.8, squawk 1702.
So yeah, the transponder code, we leave it on 2000. We don't have ATC, and the PAX cargo is all loaded. Then comes the FMS programming. I'm not going to go through that. We've done that already. Okay, then the performance procedure. So the flaps, yeah, we have that. Flex temperature we have, V speeds we have, cockpit preparation. Yeah, it is quite a lengthy procedure, and I'm thinking of automizing it so that it's quick, or to shorten it, because it just takes too long. So cockpit doors. Yeah, the cockpit door is not closed, that's right. And then we can lock it if I manage to find the right key. Okay, cockpit door is locked and closed. Mode select, yeah, we have got APU master. So we're now going to start up the APU.
Stand by, let me see if I can find it for you. Ameristar 9464, you clear to the 9 departure. South 1, expect radar vectors J45 to Ormond Beach, and then that's foul. Maintain 10,000 and squawk 2072.
Ameristar 94.
So we can hear the APU
Third south 1.
slowly coming up. We should be able to see it here. Yeah.
072 on the squawk.
That's all 94.
APU is available.
Correct. Stand by for a minute. Let me take a look at the flight plan.
Is
That's
available.
all
Yeah.
9464. You all set.
And we put it on
Thanks, sir. Have a nice
bleed.
afternoon.
And that means we can actually disconnect external power and actually get rid of it. It's a bit, it's great that we have these windows, but they're a bit strange when it comes to moving them. So, handling, that's it. So let's get rid of the GPU, and I think we are now completely independent. Let's quickly check. So the doors still need closing. So I'm going onto MCD menu and we're going to close all the doors. So, pressure we have set. If is overhead EFB, briefings, radio and cockpit, pedestal, engine mode selector. So yeah, that's now engine start. But before we do that, we need to bring better pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I would like to go. Where is the taxiway here? I would like to go here and leave the area on this side.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, there comes the tow. So I'm also going to get out my AviTab, toggle the tablet, let's bring it out. Then we can go onto LGAV and get the Navigraph charts shown up as well. And that
Okay, all
too
doors
shows
and
us
hatches are
nicely
closed,
where we
ready
are.
to connect.
Alright. Yeah, we have some.
413.
But 413.
Uh,
We're not showing any clearance in the system.
Looks like it
apparently,
went through the
my
CPDLC,
rudder paddles,
you're
they're
unable
also
to pick it up.
starting to become really. Oh, look at that.
Our login's like freezing
Yeah.
up or something. You guys having issues at all, or is it just us?
No, it's just you, but I have the clearance if you're
That
ready to
response
copy.
curve. Let's flatten this a bit.
I go to 413, you're clear to the airport. We have a SIL-2 departure,
Okay,
Greenwood
that
transition. That's
seems to fix it.
Squawk 3341.
Alright, still 2, Greenwood transition.
Maybe not.
3341, still to 413.
Not sure what that is.
Tow connected and bypass in and serving. Release parking brake.
Right. So what do we look like here? I think we're fine. So let's make sure that we have the beacon on. We have the strobes on now. With the beacon on, Sam will remove the gate, and I think we are fine up here. I hope I haven't overlooked something. And parking brake off.
Park brake off.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Okay. Then, this is still wrong. Okay, I need to change the position. Starting engine number 2. Is it starting the engine?
Good afternoon, Corsair 2709.
Yes, it is.
Current with information Papa on gate Fox 14.
Corsair 2709. Good afternoon. Clear to the Mike Lima Oscar Airport via the Pound 2 RNAV departure. Deep transition. SS filed. Squad 3326.
Corsair 2709.
We have even rain. Great.
RNAV transition is
That's a good start. Okay, then let's start
Starting
number 1.
engine 1.
Corsair 2709. Reback track. See ya.
Bye-bye.
So it looks like we have 2 good starts. Ignition normal.
Spoilers armed.
Flaps
Flaps 1.
1. Auto brake max. So let's check that the trim is 0.6.
Operation complete. Set parking
Engine
brake.
mode selector normal, speed brake is armed, rudder trim is reset, and the pushback crew is just on the way out.
Squad 2047.
Park brake on.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
So takeoff flaps are set. Flight, we have checked the flight controls. I just did, and then before taxi procedure. So the weather radar. Yeah, we're going to turn it on when is it on again? You know, I don't know why this is now, but yeah, it's one of these things. Okay, weather radar is on. Let's grill the ground crew. So the auto brake max takeoff config test we've done. Contact ATC, null
Noise
slide.
disconnected. Bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Okay, winke winke.
Still 2199.
Lindsay. Yeah, there they are. And this is a really strange effect in X-Plane. Just a little bit of rain and we have this, what looks like smoke coming from the back. It's one of these things I don't really like. So,
I think you said it like can't go transition and rest of back correct.
so I'm going to set flight level 340. Because we're going to climb through, no point. All right. So,
1002 across the island.
6202 affirmative approved. Across the island is John Juliet.
we got everything. I think we do. Flaps are set. Yep, I think we are fine. So let's start.
Park
Taxiing.
brake off.
The taxi lights on. Park brake is off. That's the rain effects.
Six one 46, you got a release time of 17:45.
Alright, thanks for that. Rico 6146.
Flight time for Athens. So should we taxi on Charlie or on Delta? I think it's normally the first one, right? So we're going left here. So there has been a weather update here. So as I say, this will be a long flight. I'm not going to accelerate this time. I will just have it run in the background, doing other things, checking on it from time to time, and also checking that fuel and so on are still nominal where we would want them. Let's speed this up a bit. So dash dot, altitude dot, dash, that looks good. Still a long way to go.
6002, press runway 4 Charlie, monitor on the other side.
Cross 4 at Charlie and monitor tower on the other side, 1602.
Oops.
Press runway 4 Charlie, monitor on the other side.
Cross 4 at Charlie and monitor tower on the other side, 1602.
Rico 6146, we're affirmative on the 33 on range.
Rico 6146, runway 33, taxi via Juliet Foxtrot, hold short of runway 1.
Juliet Foxtrot, hold short of 1.
So halfway. Pity that airport navigator doesn't work, but you can see it on the Avitab. going to move over to Delta because I just realized that Charlie is actually not going to the end.
Good afternoon.
So I'm
November
going
1
to
November 1.
move on to Delta now. Going to the right here.
Join Kilo, Taxi Park.
So we'll join Kilo and Taxi Park.
So the interesting thing for this test will be how stable is the JarDesign A320 on such a long flight, almost maximum range. Okay, I stayed slightly under the maximum possible range because I wanted to make sure that we have enough reserves, and even if the fuel consumption is slightly higher than what was calculated, I hope that with the 18.5 tons that we have, that we arrive in Iceland. We do have not too bad winds. They're okay as far as I've seen in the weather report. Whether or not they are ingested by active sky like that, we shall see how good they are for us. But I hope that even if they're not that favorable, in some areas I think we have some storms, although this is a couple of hours in the future. It's always hard to say what the weather will be like. But you can see on the overlay map on the upper right that we do have some rain areas. Most of them won't affect us, but some will. And I'm afraid, as you can see here in Greece, it's cold. It's actually not very nice weather. We're probably going to have clouds for most of the way, but I hope that we will have some clear areas where we can see maybe some of the scenery as well. So we're getting close. The jar doesn't have interval, so it's the slow speed and the fast speed. I don't think it has an interval. I couldn't at least see it. The rain effects are actually quite realistic. They don't look strange, as in some cases where I have seen the rain effects with lip rain being sometimes really strange, far too big droplets and all that. This looks quite reasonable, I think. Yeah, it's slight showers. Turning the
139 going to 31.
2139 ground, Kilo 1 to the gate.
Thank you.
Okay, so how do I get the chronometer turned on?
Going to 31.
Doesn't matter.
2139 ground, Kilo 1 to the gate.
Thank you.
I have SimToolkitPro keeping track.
But here, 545, we're ready.
And departure 545, runway 1, taxi via Charlie, cross runway 4, my time, your side.
Charlie, stop, 4 Mountain Tower, runway 1, taxi via Charlie.
'Takes a lot of effort to get it moving here. It just doesn't want to move. It looks. Okay, so let's quickly put in the brake and let's go to the before takeoff procedure. So cabin status is okay, contact ATC, position lights, strobes, yeah, left and right landing lights are on as well. Actually the APU we can turn off now, and the packs we leave off for the moment. We need to turn them on later. Nose light on, transponder, nose light is in, yeah, takeoff position. Transponder, TCAS set, seatbelt signs are on, pack 1 and 2 are off, and chronometer stop reset. Yeah, I thought I did that. Let's quickly check. So chronometer, stop reset, and then I don't know. How do you get it? Chronometer start. Okay. And takeoff.
Park brake off.
Manual flex 45 SAS runway.
Power set.
Grab 608 off of
Booster 608, round back to park.
Nice park, position 60.
Difficulty is keeping it straight.
100 knots.
Check. This is really slow. I have a feeling that the acceleration isn't what I would expect it to be. We're going to use most of the runway. V1.
V1.
Rotate. Ooh,
Rotate.
and about time. I had the same doing my Try&Fly.
Positive climb. Gear up.
Yeah, it, So, I think I have a first problem. And I didn't actually check that. I didn't see that the departure procedure. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. The departure procedure is not what I want it to be. So let's use heading mode. And first climb out a bit.
Autopilot 1, cross check.
So, flaps.
Speed is not okay for next flaps position.
Okay.
American 2119, now pushback, spot 4.
Pushback, spot 4, American 2119.
So, flaps up.
Speed is not okay for next
Not yet.
flaps position.
Okay.
Speed
Now.
check. Flaps 0.
Difficult to find that click spot so far managed.
Air Shuttle 5988, climb 18 point level 210, traffic no back.
210 show.
Now we need to make sure that we're not ending up in the trees, in the hills. Yeah, well, that looks okay now. Right, so flaps are up. So we can. No. Okay. Speed brake. Yeah, there is a little issue here. It keeps showing speed brake. I'm not the only one who has that, apparently. So it's going to try and now get into that first waypoint, wherever it thinks that should be, which is Remax. Yeah, that's fine. Looks correct.
I'm sorry, just someone checking out. Was that 652 Papa Tango?
Yes, sir.
And
652 Papa Tango.
we're climbing out so far, okay. So I think we are fine. Let's check climb procedure. Landing gears up. Autopilot is engaged. Thrust is climbed. Thrust, yeah. Flaps are retracted. Speed brakes are disarmed. The packs, we need to put the packs on. Speed brake, yeah, pack 2, pack 1 on, run return of the nose lights off. That's it. Barometer standard at not yet. We need to wait for 9,000, which comes up soon. Okay, now it's turning towards Remax. That's fine.
Flight 2186, contact center 128.45.
Okay, 45, I'm like on it.
Southwest 3961 out of 33.8.
So, transition altitude. Why are we still blinking?
Standard Barrow cross check. Passing flight level 102.
And we turn off the landing lights. Okay. Landing lights are off. And we're accelerating, that's why we stopped climbing. Okay, so looks good. I think we are fine. Let's see if the transponder is in the correct mode. TARA automatic, yeah, so looks like this is working. And I wonder when we're going to get through the clouds.
Southwest 3628
But next is the descent checklist, but that's a long time in the future. Yeah, what doesn't work like I'm used to is normally when you click on a button here again, it will kind of revert into a default display, which should be the cruise display. I guess the cruise display hopefully will come when we reach our flight level 340, which is our cruising altitude for the moment. So everything up here is off as it should be.
Southwest 3560, climb and maintain level 270.
And we can let the passengers out. The passengers we don't have. So I'm going to stay with you until we reach our cruise altitude, and from then on it will be a quiet flight until we reach Iceland.
American 596 out of 260 for 240.
American 596 out of just maintain 12,000, the altimeter is 3001.
12,000 for American 596.
I see I'm still in the first officer position.
Good evening, Delta. 1635 is climbing out of 10-2 for level 230.
1635, center roger. Delta 1635, touchdown to the right side, 3 o'clock, 15 miles northwestbound, Airbus leveling level 240.
Hey, we're looking Delta 1635, thanks.
So just to show you, by the way, SimToolkitPro with its new map. This is actually now. Oh, hang on. This is actually kind of 3D here. Yeah, it's tilted because I tilted the taxi map, and it's in Verdensour we seem to have yeah, a tilted map too, which doesn't look too bad. Just wonder how I can change this now. I can turn it. Okay, need to be slow with the turn, and I can make it straight. Okay. So we've started. Here is we're still over Greece. We're now going to turn any moment, and then we're going to fly north. Yep. SimToolkitPro.
runway 08 to Victor Today, space is closed, hold, clear direct the Imperial County Airport.
Project Imperial County, verify coming 8000.
On the way 08, that's correct.
There's some noise I can hear that shouldn't really be there. Sounds like something from a joystick. And you can see that the speed brake is still... I'm going to arm it because then I can be sure that there's no speed brake deployed.
United 8116, we'd like to put 310 on request.
United 8116, climb and maintain level 310.
Climb and maintain 310, thanks very much. United 8116.
So we're slowly climbing out, and
Southwest 9019, we're level 300, cross Mole, and 40.
Southwest 9019, up under Roger, please direct Trixie from Trixie at maintain
check what the...
Direct to Trix, and cross that one.
What the next waypoint is, Canis, so Xanis, I mean. So at Xanis we should still have 15.9 tons. At Remax we were supposed to have 16.4. Let's have a quick check. Fuel on board 16.9. So we are still slightly above the planning. And when we reach Xanis in about 17 nautical miles, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to check. But at the moment, our fuel on board is, as is expected, is higher than the calculated one by SimBrief. I hope it stays like that. I hope it doesn't go down too much.
Southwest 3628, 300 across Momar, flight level 240 at 270.
I do catch at 1 Southwest 3628, Center Roger, use caution, and all my other 60 your company is Southwest 5448.
Okay then. Southwest 3961 out of 33.8 for 24027.
Southwest 3961, Center Roger, you maintain 250 knots, then descend to the Lucky One arrival. Set maintain 12,000.
Cynthia, the Lucky One arrival, accept 12,000. And slow to 250, Southwest 3961.
So flight level 260 something.
American 184, amend the altitude, maintain flight level 310.
Alright, sub 310.
So the aircraft calculates a fuel prediction of 4.8 tons in Keflavik. Yeah, that's about. Yeah, I mean, if it keeps on that level, we're fine. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem. Yeah, if it drops below 3, then it's tough. If it drops below 2, then we might make it, but we're definitely not safe doing it then. So we're going to see how it pans out. I just used real-time weather because there's no point faking weather in this particular case, because I really want to see if calculations with SimBrief work out on a long distance. The thing with the JarDesign is I can't top up the fuel. The JarDesign will prevent that from happening, as far as I understand. I don't know if there is a trick. I may be able to do it with DataRef tool or something. I see if I really need to do it. Yeah, so we don't have options. If we run out of fuel, we run out of fuel with this aircraft. So we can't just top it up, at least not with normal means. That's my experience with JarDesign aircraft. One of the reasons why I am actually keeping it on normal time, because with the A330 I also can't change the fuel, so I can't fly faster and then correct the fuel. Therefore we're going to fly it in real time, and I'm just watching it, which is probably a more accurate test anyway. So we're almost reached flight level 300. At the moment we burn about 4 tons an hour, but that should go down as soon as we've reached our flight level 240. The displays are not the brightest, but they're fine at the moment. Yeah, I'm still hoping for that display to switch.
2615, 22.5 and 250.
2615, send to Rudders.
Probably when we reach flight level 340, which we're going to reach soon. So we are in throttle climb position, yeah.
Level 42, level 3, Jojo. 1147, Roger.
Yeah, well, we have a little of a oscillation here. The autopilot is kind of oscillating slightly. Left, right, you can see it. Ever so slightly, but visible. The wind is coming from the left at the moment. It's pushing us, sorry, from the right, pushing us to the left. At the moment, still estimated fuel on board 4.8. It hasn't revised its prediction. I'm going to try and perform a direct as possible approach. But I have to find out what the weather is a bit later, about an hour or an hour and a half before we plan to arrive in Keflavik. So almost there. It has already reduced the vertical speed. Well, the slight oscillations, they could be actually turbulences, possibly. Because as I say, I have real weather on with active sky. That could actually ingest the odd turbulences. Alrighty, almost there. Almost there. We're still in the climb, but we should switch to cruise mode any moment. There we go. It's now reducing. Unfortunately, it's not doing this very elaborate or very sophisticated. It's just bringing down the throttles. Then we start getting slower, then it needs to bring them up again, then we start getting faster again, trying to hit our speed target. Yeah, and we have actually exceeded ever so slightly by 20-30 feet. Now we're going down again. So yeah, the autopilot isn't very good at these things. It's just the way it is. So why haven't we got no. Altitude cruise. Should we not have a dot here? Should we not have a dot here? Good question. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that, I suppose. Well, anyway. So. Yeah. Okay. Let it calm down. But anyway, what happened now is at cruise, it actually brought up the cruise page, so that's fine. That's what I had waited for. So you can now see that the fuel flow has come down to somewhere between 2,200 to 2,400 kilograms per hour. Unfortunately, this is fluctuating quite a bit because, as I say, the autopilot is kind of, we're going slightly up, going slightly down. We have to apply more power again, then we have to reduce it again, and it's not exactly good at getting it right. So this is too low now because we're still on a descent. We're still coming down a bit because we have exceeded the altitude slightly. So now it's bringing it up again, and it will take some time, hopefully, before it kind of stabilizes. But all in all, we should see about 2.2 to 2.4 tons of fuel use. And at the moment we're still on 4.6. We've gone down with the prediction. Fuel prediction is now 4.6. Well, let's hope this is not a trend. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to leave you alone now with the aircraft. We're in cruise mode now and many hours to go. Let me quickly check. Estimated arrival time UTC 13:04, that is 14:15, that's around 3 o'clock plus minus. It is now shortly after 10, quarter past 10 here in Munich. So we're going to fly for another only 3 hours? No, hang on, for another 5 hours, yeah. Roughly 5 hours is the remaining flying time plus whatever it takes for the approach.
Alaska 1142, you set a maintain flight level 240. Maintain 240, Alaska 1142.